China, an ancient land steeped in tradition, where the boundary between the living and the dead has always been thin. Here, in the shadows of mist-covered temples and forgotten tombs, the restless dead do not simply linger. They move, they hunt, and they hop. In Western legends, vampires are elegant predators, lurking in the dark with fangs bared. But in Chinese folklore, the undead were far more grotesque. Corpses brought back to life, doomed to wander the earth in search of life force. These were the Jiangshi, the hopping vampires of China. The legend of the Jiangshi dates back centuries, rooted in the deep Chinese belief in the balance between yin and yang, and the importance of proper burial rites. In China, the dead were not meant to be disturbed. If burial customs were ignored or disrupted, the soul of the deceased could become trapped between the worlds of the living and the dead. A Jiangshi was born when a corpse did not receive a proper burial, when death was sudden or violent, or when the body was left unburied for too long. These unfortunate souls would rise from their graves, their bodies stiff, their movements unnatural. Unlike the fluid grace of the Western vampires, Jiangshi hopped towards their victims, arms outstretched, their stiff bodies barely able to bend. Unlike the blood-drinking vampires of Europe, Jiangshi were not concerned with human blood. Instead, they fed on life force itself, qi, the vital energy that flows through all living things. Victims would wake, drained of energy, their bodies cold, their minds clouded, as if a piece of their very soul had been stolen in the night. For centuries, people believed that those who encountered a Jiangshi would grow weak, their spirits slowly withering away until death claimed them. The Jiangshi were terrifying, but they were not invincible. Taoist priests, well versed in the arcane arts, were the only ones who could stop them. Armed with mystical talismans, spells and mirrors, these exorcists would engage in spiritual warfare, using their knowledge of the Taoist magic to subdue the undead. The most famous method of stopping the Jiangshi was to place a written talisman on its forehead, paralysing it instantly. Some priests used roosters' crowing mirrors, or even the sound of firecrackers, all believed to weaken these undead horrors.